Joining me from Kyiv now is that member of parliament, Alex Goncharenko. Mr. Goncharenko, thank you for joining us. It's good to talk to you again. Just a few days ago, Russian forces bombed a maternity hospital in Mariupol. You've called this latest strike that we were just watching on an apartment building in Kyiv by Russian artillery an example, in your words, of genocide in the 21st century. Now, that's a very serious allegation. Do you believe that Russian forces are deliberately and specifically targeting civilians?
Absolutely. It couldn't be so many mistakes. Kindergartens, schools, hospitals, more than 200 schools are hit by Russians. Even you said about Mariupol and maternity house. One of women who were injured that time, a pregnant woman, she died with her unborn child. That's an awful catastrophe. And now you see this absolutely residential building. And today there were 3 bombings in Kiev, and all 3 of them were just in areas without any military target. So it cannot be so many mistakes. No, it's absolutely tactics and strategic plan of Putin, because he just can't win at our army. And that's why he started this terror against civilians.
Let's talk about the civilians. We on this side out here in Hungary, and my colleagues in Poland, have spoken to many of the refugees who have fled the country for their safety and that of their children. What about those people who have stayed, particularly in Kyiv, a city that is getting closer and closer to being surrounded by Russian troops? What are you hearing from the people who have stayed and are remaining there?
Certainly people are concerned. Certainly people worry. But many of them joined civil guards, civilian militia, me included, and took weapons in their arms ready to defend the city. Some of them do not want to leave their apartments. Some of them don't have a possibility to leave their apartments. Many elderly people are staying still in Kiev. So more than 1 million people are now in Kiev, and certainly they are concerned, and everybody sees what had happened with Mariupol, with Kharkiv. That's why we are so desperately asking for support to stop Russian aircraft. We need aircraft. We are asking for air defense system, Patriots, more Stingers, things like this. We are not asking for NATO pilots. We can do everything ourselves, but please give us instruments to defend our women and children and to defend the whole free world.
One of the things we've heard of is people coming across to these other NATO countries or Eastern European countries, dropping their children off, sending them off to be taken care of by friends or relatives, and then going back into Ukraine because of what you said, elderly parents. There are a lot of elderly people who are not mobile still in Kyiv. As the city gets surrounded, we've heard that it could take 10 days to 2 weeks to surround the city, and then 10 days to 2 weeks for Kyiv to run out of critical supplies. Tell us what you believe happens then. What happens once the Russians have surrounded you and you don't have the air support that you're asking the West for?
First of all, even without these air support, I just want to remind you that Putin was thinking that he would take Kiev in 2 days. Then American officials said to American journalists that they were giving 96 hours to Ukraine, and after this we will fail. As you see now, it's almost 20 days, and we have not failed. And I'm sure we will not fail. And Putin could not, and he will not encircle Kiev. So I believe that our army, which is holding the ground, will hold it for future. If they will penetrate to city, people like me, civilian militia, will fight them on the street. But I believe that we will not need to do this. And I am absolutely sure that the victory will be ours, because it is our land, and our plan is to stay till the end. And when you have moral like this, you cannot lose.
Well, I have spoken to members of parliament every single day. Some of them have never held a gun in their lives. They've got a firearm. They've learned how to use it. You are wearing your civilian militia uniform. Tell me what it's like being a member of parliament and being a member of the militia. What is your life like now with these two different roles?
My weapons also is with me. Now it's always with me, my automatic rifle, that I cannot be without it. And yes, it's completely different life. But the war, it's something happened that changed the whole our life. And now we have like existential choice to be or not to be. That is the question, no other. So I'm sure that we need to stay shoulder to shoulder with our people. And it is important for people to see that also members of the parliament, like in the United States, it's congressmen, are staying together with them, shoulder to shoulder, encouraging them by their example. I think this is important. So that's why me and I know, yes, a number of my colleagues are doing absolutely the same, and I appreciate it very much.